So welcome to week 1 of the winter season, January 4th, and we renamed Metaphysics in the Bible to Isis in the Bible. So yes, we've changed the name because the whole Bible is about the woman who meets with her son on the stations of the cross, also known the stations of the zodiac. Our topic for the day is just the facts, ma'am, or ma. You see the word ma, just the facts, ma. So we'll go over what's happening in the sky, and the question for the day that we went around the room with was, what's your New Year's promise to your inner child? So it was very heartfelt what everybody spoke about. So you can see that everybody is knowing that we all need to make some change and do some inner work. But because it's about facts, one fact for sure is that when we add the 10 days back into the calendar, removed by the Vatican in 1582, January 1st is really on January the 11th. So there's reason for that January the 11th. And that's because Ma, what she does, that energy in the sky, it changes on January the 11th. So the true meaning of New Year's resolution is to that inner child, is to that inner love within you, which we call the divine feminine. So don't get scared by this. This is just her journey that we've been facing with. You've seen different animations that we've done. I just want to walk you through this, all right? Because this was a work hardening. This is the work hardening that we're going through for the last 3 years. So you've heard me say that back in May 15th of 2019, we knew something was coming. We posted that we're going to be going through a corona chakra cleanse. All right, or we call it what Tammy says, the first eye, not the third eye. This is the one that connects with the inner child, this one. And that images that we put out, take in, sound, vibrations, actions that we put out and take in is the connection to the inner child. If you want to bring it back, change them. That's what it's about. So this process starts when she comes back. So she entered for the first time in our head in 558 years on June the 1st, 2019. Stayed in our head for 3 months. All right. And then she went back into Pisces for 8 months. Before I move forward into the second time she came in, this was a really important date on January the 11th, 2020. You've seen me talk about this before. That's the great conjunction that happened in the sky. That's the weighing of the heart ceremony. So the weighing of the heart ceremony is totally related to that inner child. This is the weighing of your heart versus a feather. Remember, we've talked about this just briefly. You, your father, this represents God in heaven, Pluto, Anubis, you, your higher self, right? The one that will take you out because you're not being who you should be. This is the scales, Saturn, Father Time, Ceres, the one that eats your heart, and Mercury, the scribe, of all your actions that you've left for that inner child. This whole conjunction happened in the sky on January the 12th, all right? At the same time when she went direct. She's aligning with that. She's in complete alignment. That inner child is in complete alignment with your weighing of the heart. That happened on January the 11th. So in May 8th, 4.8 months. So 2020, she stayed 4.8 months in our crown, the story of Santa Claus, Santa Claustrum, cleansing our chakras. That's the virus process, right? Virus. Then she went back for 6 months back into Pisces. This is the pole shift. This is the work hardening. This is us shifting gears, reconnecting with that inner child with love, one love. So then 6.3 months in 2021, 7.6 months. And then on March the 7th of this year, she's here to stay. So you can imagine that we're only going to be closer and closer to doing everything we do with love. It's going to be demanded. So the more and more we connect, the more and more we're going to just get there quicker, sooner, so that we can help others. So this process of this energy that's moving in and out of our crown chakra, just picture A mother's love coming and wrapping herself around your heart. And she's there reminding you, I'm home, I'm home, I'm home, clean up. I'm home, I'm staying longer, clean up, clean up. So here's some more facts. Look at the WHO timeline on the supposed virus, which is a process, a cleansing process. Look what they had on January the 10th to the 12th. They just finished a comprehensive package in case there was a new outbreak. So before the announced one, on the day of the Great Conjunction of January 12, 2020, the WHO put out a notice that in case we have any viruses, it's not a virus, it's a cleanse process. Some astrologers knew. This is only to make the whole world wake up. So don't take this as in a wrong way. Don't go down the rabbit hole. Be happy. It's an alignment for a reason. Spirit's doing this to get us to all come together, but we got to not judge. We got to be happy about this because it's really happening. So then, of course, in January 30th, they said there was an outbreak. We already predicted that that was going to happen. We even had pictures of the different faces that we're going to be going through as she starts making her way, but the outcome is going to be this, right? This was a Facebook post pre-Eris, Isis, Madonna, the one love, that inner child showing her face again within you, because that inner child is pure love. That's your connection, the source. There's just different names for it, right? So, and this is like I said to you, the Vatican added 10 days into the calendar. So January the 1st is not the true New Year's Day. It's January the 11th. Because January the 11th is when she changes and she goes direct. She goes back and forth, like I showed you in these, right? Back and forth, back and forth. She traverses the stations of the cross. And now she's going to land on one on April 15th, 2023 with us, called the Phoenix Rising. So here's some more facts. Do we not celebrate New Year's Day with fireworks? Because there's fireworks happening within us. There's probably going to be fireworks happening on the earth. It all depends on how we are, how that inner child feels. If the whole world fixes their inner child before April 15th, then there won't be as many fireworks. Don't know. And so there's two times. There's a second time we do fireworks. And that's mid-July, around July time frame. That's when the mother, she now aligns with the River Nile flooding. So her period, she's aligning with the period of the earth, of the River Nile. And there's once again fireworks. So we have fireworks when she goes direct, and we have fireworks when she goes retrograde. We've kept the breadcrumbs as a reminder of when we're going to meet on these stations of the cross, these alignments, these beautiful timing, these feelings when we got to go to work, when we got to do something, we got to do this, we got to do that. Well, there's another one that happens called, we got to reconnect with love, that inner child. So it's happening, people. It's not woo-woo, but know that it's the end of this work hardening is that connection again. And it's going to happen. So we just got to do it. Like Ernie says, let's just get back to it. It's time to get back to it. It's in the timing bar to get back to it. So it's a beautiful thing. But we just got to know that we can't put it off. No, this year's the important one. 2023 is the important one. We have to connect this year. She's here to stay. So if we don't connect and things start changing for us, then the ego, those vibrations, you're going to feel them more. So you got to deal with them. But just know it's a loving process. Another quick thing for what's happening in the sky, just really quickly, we're having new moon coming. on January the 6th. So if anybody wants to get out and state some intentions, all right? I put on here the Doobie Brothers. Listen to the music. Because once again, there's a third time now we're having an alignment. Look at the sun is going to be aligned with Vega. And Vega in the sky, that part of the cosmic breath, that inner spiritual flood. And it's Heliacal rising. And the story of Altair, Vega, she awaits in the heavens for the one day a year. Altair joins her by making a bridge of magpies. So there's Altair right here. So the sun now, you, is making that bridge of magpies. So you're making that bridge right now. You're going from Vega to Altair. It's a beautiful relationship. It's a good time for you to connect. That's what this meaning means. So all the astrology can really help us to know the truth, but you don't need the astrology. You just got to feel it. As long as you know that the vibrations you're getting are to help you get to one love and bring that inner child out. But if it doesn't feel good, it means you got to correct it, got to repaint it. Like Deb said, she worked with it and she felt better. But put the icing on the cake and replay it. Be little Johnny at the blackboard and write the 1,000 lines. I will always hug Susie. I will always hug Susie. I will always hug Susie. Instead of the other words, right? What you want, not what you don't want. This was interesting for the people in Windsor area because, so this part of fortune, which in some really simple math, I do this for other people who are into astrology and want to work, so sorry for boring the other people, but that part of fortune I never used in the charts, but then I got guided to it. This is to do with immaculate conceptions. Because the math for this is to do with the ascendant, which is Phoenix rising, when we rise. So when we rise physically, when we're born. And the moon and the sun. So there's two different ones, whether a day birth or night birth. And that, so we can plan births based on just like we do with the Farmer's Almanac. And we plan the births of the seeds and the harvest. So if we plan our births based on astrology, immaculate conceptions, at least know when you have the knowings, because immaculate conceptions are real and they're being downloaded to me for a reason. So I just threw this out for so many people that are in astrology. So no matter where you're at on a full moon, the lot of fortune will either be on the DSC, the descendant, when we go to sleep at night, when we harvest, or when we rise, when we plant, in the spring or the fall. And this is just for the other side of the world where the moon is going to be at the ascendant. And so that's hot springs. And this is for Wenshang, Walled China. So let's see, maybe somebody's going to have some good birthing and have some really cool children. Don't know, but just thought I'd share that interesting find. Okay. Another fact. How many of you heard about the Buffalo Bills player Damar Hamlin his heart stopped, eh? I didn't check today to see how he's doing. I don't know if anybody's heard. But here's what I wanted to talk about. Why can't we just all get along? So his heart went out and I went and got the exact time. He went down at 8:55. I got his birth chart and his heart stopped. It was in his chart. 100%. It was an easy one to find. Very easy. And I know that his reckoning day was going to be today/tomorrow in his chart. So we'll see if he makes it through. So why am I bringing this up? Because we're not all getting along. And what do I mean by this? Well, there's people out there saying, well, he got the jab, didn't he? It has nothing to do with that. We got to start respecting each other and loving each other for what decisions they make. Because it's in his chart. It had nothing to do with whether he did anything. Now, there's other reasons that I looked at that are in his chart on probably why he got the message that he did. There's some past karma that we all have to deal with. So I chose not to put it on here, the detail, because to me, that's his personal chart. Unless he said, go ahead, then I'd do it. But it was easy. If anybody wanted to go look, you could probably find it. So the message here is we got to get along. Everything's in our chart. We have free will. We have free will to only change the amplitudes of our bumps, but the bumps are always there. So the more work we do with that inner child, that bump becomes less and less and less. Right? It's hard to imagine that everything's in our chart, but it absolutely is. This is why I share it. Because we can stop judging others. So I like this little picture here. Sir, I just want to talk to you about your insurance policy. Trying to break his way in, right? Insurance, who needs it, right? It's a paranoia. I just want to let you know that I'm offering you insurance today. Yep, I'm starting an insurance company. There's a monthly fee. I'd like to ask you for 4 months in advance, if you don't mind. The monthly amount is equivalent to your monthly food bill. Here's what I'm offering. Go to the grocery store and stock up on at least 4 months of food. You will know when it's time. Don't do it for yourself, do it for others. Reduce lineups. Your neighborhood children may need some food or some water. And hey, if nothing happens, you owe no one anything. Nothing. You can just eat your food and drink your water, so it costs you nothing. That's the best insurance we can offer you. So prophecy says that we're going to maybe challenged next year, or this year, I should say. So, but if we've worked with our inner child, then law of attraction says we're going to be out there, we're going to be fine, but we're going to be helping others. Whatever happens is totally up to us in our chart. So that's the material world insurance that we'd like to offer you, that you just go stock up on some food. 4 months. Again, just to help reduce some lines. And now let's talk about some spiritual insurance. The 42 laws of Isis. We're walking up the aisle to marry Mary. We're meeting Mary on the one of the stations of the cross. And that cross is, every time she meets at a station of the cross, it's a phoenix rising. So the spiritual insurance you can do is maybe just grab a couple of these. These are going to be your intentions on New Year's Eve. And I just picked out a few just for fun. I said, okay, 13, maybe try being vegan for a day, a week, a month, showing that you care about animals. Because every time we don't eat a meal that has animals, you spare a life. 15, pick up some trash. And as I care for the earth, pick up some trash at the side of the road. Funny, he just walks in when we said that, eh? The cat walked in and said, somebody say something about animals. How about 26? Make someone laugh. Rusty just did his job of making somebody laugh. 30, act respectful. Respect everybody's life choices. If somebody wants to go and do something with their body because they're not in a good place, you got to respect it. How about give blessings? 35. Help the needy that are in your view, your world. If you see somebody if you look at somebody, a needy person, that's your view. What are you going to do about it? I've gone across the road, turned around, did U-turns because I looked at them. I know it was mine meant to be, and go help them out. And 36, I didn't highlight it, but I did add it on there. I keep the waters pure. That's the images, the actions. Our words that we use, are they full of love? Are we watching movies that make people billions of dollars that are full of images that you would not want to show your inner child? Those are the type of things that you might want to consider adding to your list of connecting with the inner child. Because if you do all these 42, that's got to at least be 90-95% of connecting with the inner child if you can do all these. So, and if nothing happens next year, nothing at all, nothing, what did it cost you? Not a thing. And you gave love and changed your world. So people say, what if nothing happens next year? So I don't care. I'm working on me. I'm working on me. That's what we're supposed to be doing. But if prophecy comes right up and we do see some things, well, we know why. Because it's showing others that they need to work on their inner child. So we're now going into the Bible. John's vision of Christ, verse 10. On the ruling, so I picked Revelation because that's what we're on right now. So I wanted to do some Revelation verses. Because knowing that Lord is ruling goddess, we can have a field day now going into the Bible and seeing what messages were left for us. It's easier to read. So John's vision of Christ, verse 10. On the ruling goddess's day, I was in the spirit, and I heard behind me a loud voice like a trumpet. So they're talking about the Phoenix Rising Day. This chapter goes on about John seeing a rainbow of lampstands and of his higher self. Well, people are already seeing these visions of the rainbows around the sun, right? Look at it. It's a sign of prophecy. It's here. Mama's home. Inner child wants to come out to play. We got to clean up. And so those feelings in our body got to change. Those feelings in our thought got to change. We can sit there all day long and go, but he said, she said. But we've been doing that for 2,000 years. And now it's time for everybody just to stop giving each other karma. So every time you put a word, even though if you want to share your experience, you're still putting that word out there to vibrate the waters. So that's why I constantly try to always say my story in a positive way. And then you're going to think nothing's ever happened to me. Claudio only says good things happen in his life because I've changed them. I've repainted them. And then when we do that, we can induce others because we've cleansed our own waters. And number 6, the seals. Verse 10. They called out in a loud voice, how long, sovereign ruling goddess, holy and true, until you judge the inhabitants of the earth and avenge our blood? So again, they're talking about the cleanse we're going through, this bodily cleanse. And the biggest one is in our head and that connection. And then the 7th trumpet. 11 verse 17. We give thanks to you, ruling goddess, the one who is and who was, because you have taken your great power and have begun to reign. Because it's happening. She's reigning. And not like cats reigning, but it's kind of the same reign because that reign means the divine. The nations were angry and your wrath has come. Well, we get angry because somebody's trying to change us. Somebody's trying to make us take away our material stuff. Somebody's trying to make us all loving again. Yeah. But the end result's going to be awesome. It's just demanded for us to be pure. So this is what the messages that were left in the Bible, which came from the Egyptian walls. In Book of Revelation again, 14, the 3 angels, verse 13. Then I heard a verse from heaven say, write this, blessed are the dead who die in the ruling goddess from now on. Yes, says the Spirit. They will rest from their labor, for their deeds will follow them. So in other words, the karmic vibrations will follow you. But the good ones follow you too. So our next life, unless we're pure, unless somebody can figure out how to be pure and not have to come back, let me know. Because we're trying to get there. But who cares if we have to come back? It's going to be beautiful because we're already working on the next one, and that's what that one's about. It was a little long, but 7 angels with 7 plagues. I saw in heaven another great and marvelous sign, 7 angels with the 7 last plagues, because with them God's wrath is complete. And I saw and what looked like a sea of glowing glass. Sea of glass glowing with fire. That's lava, right? Standing beside the sea, those who had been victorious over the beast and its image and over the number of its name. They held harps and sang the song of servant Moses and of the Lamb. They're talking about Aries when they talk about that. Okay, Aries, arise, Alpha and Eris. Great and marvelous are your deeds, ruling goddess. Just and true are your ways, queen of the nations. Who will not fear you, ruling goddess, and bring glory to your name? For you alone are holy. All nations will come and worship before you, for your righteous acts have been revealed. So although this got some drama in it, what they're really saying is when we're being induced by love. That's what it's saying. As we're cleansing, the earth will cleanse. How much will it be? The sea of glass with glowing with fire and all the things that Revelation talks? I guess it's just a matter of time to see. I'm trying not to manifest it, but every time I make a comment to Spirit saying, am I supposed to be sharing this? Yes or no? And then I keep getting the answer, yes, I need to be sharing it because we need to calm our blood, because the blood of the earth is the lava. And so if we see the lava erupting, look at volcanoes are erupting every day. Every single day, there's hundreds of them erupting a little bit. But on an energetic cusp of a phoenix rising, does it change? Prophecy says yes. Ice cores say yes. But who will be affected? Only those that need to be still cleansed. So it's about being brave and in connecting with that inner child. You'll know. We're going to be fine because we know. And so will everybody else know, because I see it as how are we going to come into this one love? Well, maybe some electrical systems are going to be knocked out. And that person who never got along with his next door neighbor, he decides to share his generator with his next door neighbor. Right? Those are the type of things we need to think about. So whatever does happen, because I'm betting on something's going to happen, and I'm not saying not good, it's going to be good. And so if you witness this and see it, you know already that it's about, we got to all just get along, kids. And as long as we say that, look at Ernie's already saying it, we got to start having more fun here. Right. So whatever happens, we're going to be ready for it. But our love and our heart has to be pure to be ready for it. Because we'll be able to part the waters to go show others, because we're not going to have all kinds of other lavas of attraction coming to us to take us out of that loving space, because we're already working on it. Tammy, beside me here, Malaj, she shared this, which is cool. The Last Supper, book of Luke, 22, verse 10. And he said unto them, behold, when ye are entered into the city, there shall a man meet you bearing a pitcher of water. Follow him into the house where he entereth in. This is about going into the age of Aquarius. Right? There's the man holding the pitcher. Here it is where they read the Bible off the Egyptian walls. The man holding the pitcher of water. You can see the enslaved ones, which is us. We're enslaved, we're in karmic debt. Aquarius, river of etheric waters. They're being poured over us so that we can heal. Come out of bondage, our karmic debt bondage. The not good karma. So that's what's meant in the Bible there. So it's all in there. It's just written in Babel words that were misinterpreted over 2,000 years plus. So I did a random act of kindness. I donate once in a while to this orphanage in Kenya. My ego fights me all the time on whether I should send stuff or not. You just don't know. You just don't know. But I trust this gentleman. I trust him very well. So I went to send him some money to go, but I said, here's what I want you to do though. Yeah, get him food, get him clothing, whatever, but I want you to print off the 42 spiritual laws of Isis and give the kids a copy. And want you to get them to read it or read them to them. So he said he'd laminate one and put it on the door for all visitors to see and hand them out to the kids. Right? These are little spirits. They know what's in there. They know what that piece of paper is about. So I sent the money via PayPal, and I put in there, because I want to vibrate the water. So in my description, I put, for the 42 spiritual laws of Isis. The payment was rejected. Why? I used the word Isis. Why did we poo-poo the word Isis? Why did we poo-poo the swastika? Those are all beautiful things that are going to bring free energy back and bring the divine feminine back. So I changed this to Isis in the Bible, because that's going to be a word that is really, really going to rock this earth. It already has in many ways. You can use any word you want. You can use Kali. You're going to see Kali in a minute, because Kali is another word for Madonna, Mektecoatl, Isis, divine feminine, inner divine child, pureness, love. So I'm going to share with you I made a little video of the lyrics of Going to California from Led Zeppelin. Now, California, because Kali is their version of the divine feminine, the Madonna, Isis, okay, in India. Going to California. Fornia, and forna in Italian, forna is fire, fornication, Californication, California. The Phoenix rising happens on this coastline. It's visible in the east by, in New Zealand, Queenstown, New Zealand. That's who sees it. But the actual natal earth alignment is always at the California coast. Hence why we get the big one in California. Because in 1465, an island severed there and then ended up sinking into the... So there's your plate tectonics theory gone and then explained. So with the Madonna in mind, California, listen to the words. You think these guys knew?
With a woman and kind, smoked my stuff and drank all my wine. Made up my mind, making you start, going to California with an aching in my heart. Someone told me there's a girl out there with love in her eyes, flowers her hair. Took my chances on a big jet plane. Never let them tell you that we're all the same. The sea was red and the sky was gray. I wondered how tomorrow could ever follow today. Mountains and the canyons start to tremble and shake. The children of the sun begin to awake. It seemed that the wrong of the gods got a punch on the nose, and it started to flow. I think I might be sinking. Me a line if I reach it in time. I see you up there with the passman straight. To find a queen without a king, they say she plays guitar and cries and sings. Oh, she sings. Ride a white mare in the footsteps of dawn, trying to find a woman who's never, never, never been born. No. Standing on a hill in the mountain of dreams, telling myself it's not as hard as it seems.
These guys were right on. I mean, if you hear some of the Led Zeppelin too, and so many bands out there, they knew something was coming. It was that little blip, right? That little moment in time where we got that jolt of love, and now it's back, and we got to do it. Did you catch that? A woman who's never, everybody's trying to find that woman who's never ever been born. And they're going to California where the Phoenix rising. All right? They're going to California with an aching in their heart. A queen without a king. Right? That's the pure love, that inner child, that pure love.